Hello everyone, I am Professor A.D. Sangre from Computer Engineering Department, Sanjani College of Engineering. Today we'll be going for the second part of introduction, that is structure in a computer system. So last time we have discussed that what is an architecture, what is an organization, what are the functions done by a system. So organization is designing of designing and function of any system units working together, that is organization. In simple words, an architecture is what kind of programming can be done on that designed system, that is an architecture. Okay, so there are multiple systems available or multiple architecture. You might be have heard about AMD processor, Intel processor. Okay, so the architecture of these processors are different from each other, right? But some organization is to be done for understanding it. Okay, so now we'll be going for structure of a system. So in the diagram you can see in the center, that is a computer which has some peripherals connection, that is some external connections over here, then some internal communication lines. Okay, these are communication lines which connects these peripherals also and internal devices also. So what is there in internal devices? So some storage devices are there like memory, and we have a processing device. Okay, so for illustrating, first one is CPU, that is central processing unit, which controls the operations of a computer and performs its data processing functions, that is CPU. Again, CPU has two parts, but we'll be seeing that when we'll be moving forward. But that is a control unit is there and ALU unit is there. Okay, so ALU stands for arithmetic and logic unit, and next one is control unit. So next one is main memory. So main memory is used for storage of data. Then IO devices, whatever you see here, peripherals, external connections, moves data between computer and its external environment. Then system interconnections are there, provides for or provided for internal communications or communications amongst CPU, main memory and IO devices. So for communication between these systems we use system interconnections or communication lines. Okay, for further better illustration, everybody knows what is a computer, right? So by definition, computer is an electronic machine which takes some data, processes it and gives an output, right? So it takes data, it could be like from peripherals, it processes it into a computer and gives an output. So using this communication line, it can give output to a display or it can store to a memory. Now when we zoom this computer, okay, so this small circle becomes this huge circle in which you can see a computer has a central processing unit, that is CPU. It has a main memory, it has input output also. Now input output of like from input given for processing and output taken from a processing. So to get input into a processor we need some kind of connections. That's why this system interconnection is there, which connects main memory to CPU and to input output also. Okay, that's why interconnections are important. Okay, these interconnections are done by bus. Okay, everybody should know what is bus, but if you don't know bus, no problem, we'll be illustrating it in the next videos. Stay tuned for it. Okay, so buses are like things used for transferring data from one place to another. Okay, there are multiple types of buses, but I'll explain that in next videos. Okay, so now this computer has central processing unit, main memory and input. Now if we zoom this central processing unit, let's see what we have. So this, when we zoom this CPU, central processing unit, okay, which again becomes this huge circle, which has some registers, it has arithmetic and logical program, and it has some control unit. So in previous slides I have said that CPU has two parts, that is control unit and arithmetic and logical unit. Okay, so arithmetic and logic unit only performs operations, okay, but this control unit tries to control the flow of a system, tries to control the system, okay, and it is done again by using some interconnections, that is internal CPU interconnections, which connects control unit to arithmetic and logic units and registers. Okay, so what it does, so control unit controls the operation, control unit controls the operations of CPU and hence the whole computer. Arithmetic and logic unit performs computer data processing functions, okay, only functions, whatever operations are to be done, it could be arithmetic or logic, it is done by this ALU. Registers are there which provides internal storage to the CPU, okay. So whenever CPU wants to do any kind of processing, first that data is brought into register and then it has been processed. CPU interconnections are there, so some mechanism that provides or that is provided for communication among the control unit, ALU and registers. Okay, so internal communication, whatever is needed, or you can say CPU internal bus for communication or for carrying data from one unit to another unit. Now if you want to zoom that control unit also further, this control unit, if we zoom it, it becomes this big circle. So what is there in this control unit? There is some sequential logic and there is a control memory. Now this control memory has a fixed set of instructions or set of commands or controlling commands which are stored in this memory. So control unit registers and decoders are there which will decode those instructions whatever are coming for executions. Once it is been decoded, decoded means finding its reason or finding its meaning, that is called as decoding. Like a plus b means what? If we decode means what? The contents of a and the content of b is to be added and we have to get the result of it, that is called as decoding. So in this control unit sequential logic is there, so it understands and resolves any sequential logic. Then there is a control unit registers are there again which is used to store some temporary data, and decoders are there which will understand the instruction and decode its meaning, and control memory is there which has some control commands already in it, or it can store some more memory for further execution or for commands. Okay, so this is there in this control unit. So if you see a top view of our computer system, so you can see this is memory, again it is an external part. Okay, so what memory has, it is a stack of slobs we can say, or slots in which instruction and data are stored. Okay, then these are system buses which connects this devices to each other or units to each other. So this is again internal communications or any communication line, that is a system bus. Okay, then there is a CPU. In CPU again there are multiple units are there, that is PC is there, PC stands for program counter, IR is instruction register, then there is an execution unit which executes any of the function or operation is required. Then MAR is there, that is memory address register. Okay, so whatever address or whatever instruction which is to be executed, the address is stored in this MAR and it has been fetched from the main memory. MBR, that is memory buffer register, or also called as memory data register. Okay, so data for any execution, okay, this register will just give you the address where the data is stored, and then in MBR that data is fetched and stored in MBR. Then IOAR is there, that is input output address register is there, and input output buffer register or a data register is there. Buffer means like temporarily storing, okay, that is buffer. Fine. So if you want data directly from input output system, then that address is taken, that where from where you are taking that data, and once you got the address you bring that data into its buffer register. Then there is an IO module. Can you see again in IO there is a buffer, okay, like a temporary external store or a huge storage of memory. Now how this system works, we'll take an example, okay, of executing any small program, okay, in this top level computer component, right? So we'll go step by step. So a typical operating steps, first one, program reside in memory through a input device, right? So here using this input device, program is stored into memory. It could be in main memory or a MAR or BAR, okay. So it could be memory address register, okay. The data needs to be stored in memory, okay, because once it is in memory, then and then only it would be taken for processing. Next one is program counter is set to point to the first instruction which is to be executed. Now this program counter in our system, uh, program counter always keeps the address of next it always keeps address of next instruction to be executed. So whenever any instruction is in execution, program counter will be incremented to the next instruction. It will prefetch or it will fetch the next instruction which is to be executed, and whatever instruction is to be executed, it is stored in IR, that is instruction register, okay. So we'll go for it. PC is set to point to the first instruction which is to be executed. The contents of PC are transferred to MAR, that is memory address register. Now here only program counters shows to the it shows the address of next instruction, right? It points to the address of next instruction. So that address is stored in MAR, that is memory address register. Now the contents of that memory are to be brought for processing. So a read signal is sent to that memory, that go to this memory in our memory storage and bring the data. So the first instruction is read out and loaded into MDR. Now this is memory data register, which is also called as memory data register. That's why I have changed name over here. So you should not fumble yourself, or you should not confuse yourself. MBR and MDR one and the same, okay. The contents of MDR are now transferred to IR, instruction register, for execution. The data is bought first in MBR, that is memory data register or memory buffer register, and then it is transferred to IR for execution. Now whatever data we have got, we should understand what it is. So it is to be decoded. Decoded means to remove its meaning, to understand the meaning of that instruction, that is called as decoding. After decoding, we execute that instruction. Then we get operands for ALU, okay. After decoding and executing, some opcodes are generated. Opcode means operational codes or operands for ALU, that is our arithmetic and logic unit. So those operands are again stored into general purpose registers or memory, that is address to MAR, we have read operation, and MDR to ALU. Then we perform operations in ALU. It could be arithmetic operation or a logical operation, okay. And after operation is been executed or that instruction is executed, it has to be written back. Now where it is to be written back? So it can go to general purpose registers or to main memory or memory, that is address to MAR, results to MDR, writing that data to the memory location using MAR address, that is memory address. Okay, during the execution which is going on, PC, that is program counter, will be incremented to show to show the next instruction which is to be executed. Okay, so this is the end of second lecture. If you have any doubts, let me know. Thank you.